Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. Today we are doing a review for Outriders. Outriders is a 3-player co-op looter shooter. With the Earth no longer livable, a colony ship is sent on an 83-year flight to the nearest viable planet. Here is where the Outriders begin this fast-paced action RPG. The game has been published by Square Enix and also developed by them too. It's on the PlayStation, the Xbox and the PC, and it will set you back anywhere from 33 to 59.99 depending on where or what exactly you're buying it on. You know, it is a AAA rated game. It is the first one of the franchise as well, which is quite interesting. And yeah, let's get stuck into it. So I'm playing this game on the Xbox Series S. Obviously I have Game Pass, I've mentioned that many times before, and that's how I'm playing this, you know, day one as it's been released. From what I can tell, this game is a completely online only game. It is a 3-player co-op, which I quite like. I'm surprised to say it's a 3-player co-op, not a 4-player. I do wonder why drop off the extra player. I think it's kind of standard to have a, you know, at least 2 to 4, right? So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. But basically, you know, you are these Outriders. Very soon into the game, into the campaign mode, you get gifted these powers. When you get these powers, you get to choose between 4 different classes, and basically you go around, you know, shooting the crap out of pretty much anything you see. It's kind of standard. It reminds me very much of Gears of War, you know, the Gears of War games, the mechanics, the way that works. It's a cover shooter. One of the things that really annoy me about this game is that, you know, you've got no knees. I think that's a bit random. You cannot jump, for instance. So you kind of like, you can make your character slide into combat here and there. But here's the thing. Now, as soon as I found it out that it was a cover shooter, and I was like, okay, this is Gears, and it does feel very Gears, don't get me wrong. You'll go around in this world, and every now and again you'll see, you know, a load of things that you can obviously quite clearly take cover behind, and you're like, you know for a fact that there's going to be a giant monstrous fight here. That's the thing, right? And, you know, it doesn't really do anything to change that. Anytime that there's a fight, it is these type of areas with the same type of cover. You know for a fact that it's going to be a big cover shooter fight. But here's the thing. This game is quite unique in a sense of the character classes that you choose from, depending on what you choose, for instance, really justifies or changes how you're going to play whatever you're going to play. So for me, I went with a Devastator. Now, I love tanky characters, so this was perfect for me. I just had to run in and basically beat everything up. And everything you pick, whether it's Techromancer or one of the others, it is a different, unique type of play, which I quite liked. Now, the other thing is this game kind of encourages you to, you know, to dive in on the action and actually get out from that cover and get into the battle. It isn't so much a, you know, sit back, have a shot, sit back, have a shot like Gears is. This kind of does encourage you to jump straight into the battle, all guns blazing. It's extremely fast paced, which I quite like. There was a number of different weapons that I personally had access to very early on into the game. Anything from bolt action rifles, pistols, assault rifles, automatic shotguns. There was legendary weapons which just had random perks and abilities as well, which I really quite liked. And getting access to those weapons was, you know, really early on into this game. Now, I do have to stress this is a looter shooter, and with that you are thrown a hell of a lot of loot. Even in the tutorial, you know, mode and the very beginning missions, there were boxes everywhere. You picked up 3 or 4 different types of guns. You know, you get different equipment as well. You can attach, you know, boots and helmets and all that sort of thing. And it kind of made the game a bit... I don't like looter shooters personally, but here's the thing. The game redeemed itself in the combat. If it was like Gears, and if it was a sit back, you know, cover shooter, and it is a cover shooter, I can't say that it isn't. But like I said, this game does encourage you to get in, especially with the class type that I personally picked. So I kind of liked it a little bit more than I thought I would. In fact, I've liked it so much that I'm definitely going to be jumping back on this game. Hopefully get Marty and Gavin back in it. Especially as it's a trio game, I think this is the perfect game for us to actually, dive into, get some good playtime in. For instance, I've been playing this game all day today, trying to get a review out for you guys, trying to get into this game enough to kind of get an idea of, what it's got to offer, and the length of the game, for instance. This is a 20-hour game. Now, considering this is a full price AAA rated RPG, I was expecting a little bit more there. But here's the thing. There's a lot of side missions, and even after you complete the main story and the main game, there are expeditions after the game. There are like 15 different mission types or missions for you to go through in those exhibitions as well. And as you go through this game, there's kind of like a world tier increase. So it's very much like The Division, or maybe even Destiny, in a sense that, depending on where you go, you're going to get increased loot. So you start off on world tier 1, and as you level up through the game, as you do certain things, you get a chance to unlock a brand new world tier, and it will put harder and tougher enemies in, so you can kind of make this game as hard or as easy as you want. One of the things that I very, very quickly found, having not had a chance to actually, one, either play with others, or two, play with one of my friends, is that this game definitely does feel like a game that is going to be better enjoyed playing with multiple people, playing with people that having comms. Because some of the fights that you kind of dive into, you are vastly outnumbered. Not only are you vastly outnumbered, but you also have an overpowered boss sometimes as well. It's a tough game. It's definitely not a walk in the park. I personally, again, was expecting something a little bit easier, but I was pleasantly surprised by the difficulty in this game. Now, I'm sure others will tell you that this game is extremely easy, but like I said, I've only just dived into this game. I've only been playing for a day. I think I've played for maybe 9 hours total. I've dived in, I've had a really good look at this game, and like I said, I was pleasantly surprised by the difficulty that I faced within this game. I do think, obviously, the more people that dive in and the more comms you're going to have, the easier this game is going to get. I do think that it's been deliberately designed to be a co-op game and to be enjoyed as such as well. There were, however, a couple of more things that I was disappointed with. There seems to be an online only game. There's no offline mode, which I thought was that was a bit weird. Also, the game presents you with dialogue options while you're actually going through the story mission. However, they don't actually seem to have much impact in the game. Now, I say that because I actually restarted my game and tried to go through all of the dialogue options to kind of see if there was in fact a difference. And like I said, it doesn't appear to be any difference within the dialogue whatsoever. It doesn't matter what you pick. It's just you've got a chance to get more information out of the game if you want to get that information. This game does look absolutely great though. Like I said, I played it on the Xbox Series S. I had no issues whatsoever. The frame rates looked really, really strong. I didn't crash out or dashboard or any of that, usual stuff on a game that's just been released. This game actually works on release, and I think after the last year we had, that is definitely something that is very much welcome to see. And I really hope it does well. It's one of those games that I was surprised that I enjoyed it so much. Everything seems to go so smooth. The guns sound really smooth. When they're firing, the switching in between the weapons. You do get bombarded by a lot of loot, but you can kind of ignore it all if you want to as well. One of the other things I actually loved is the fact that you could turn everything off in a HUD. If you're one of those players that just want to play the game, shoot the people, you don't have to see their health, you don't have to see your health. Pretty much your entire HUD you can turn off. I also quite like the abilities as well. Just wanted to touch on them real quick. The abilities is kind of what makes this game a little bit different from the other looter shooters that you may have played. Because you're an Outrider, you've got a certain number of abilities that you can kind of switch in and out of depending on which class you've picked, and you can really build up a unique character. which I found really, really interesting. It's a cool concept. And I'm definitely going to be experimenting, for instance, with the character class that I picked and going into a couple of the others and seeing the type of characters that you can actually create and see if you can make one better than your friend, for instance, as well. But all that being said, guys, that brings us on to the verdict. Now, I did list a number of faults with the game, things that I personally had a problem with. But honestly, there was a lot that I actually liked and a lot that I actually enjoyed within this game as well. And that surprised me, to be honest with you. So this game gets a 6.5 out of 10. That's a pretty high score, honestly. It could have got a 7 out of 10, but I honestly get really annoyed at not being able to jump. It's a really small thing. There are abilities to enable you to jump and stuff like that, but I've got knees. Do you know what I mean? You know, I'm this elite soldier and I'm running around. I'm in a gunfight. I would like to be able to jump. It's a very simple mechanic. I don't really understand why I don't have that power. But hey, that's my gripe. But if you've enjoyed this review and would like to see more reviews just like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And guys, if you have any thoughts on this game, maybe you've played the demo. I personally didn't bother playing the demo. I've actually waited for it to come out on full release. Let me know down in the comments your own thoughts on this game, your own experiences, and if this is a game that you're looking to pick up. But I've been a Monk, and we've been a Critically Clueless, and guys, I'll see you in the next video real soon. Take it easy.